Welcome back, by the way. Hopefully you did an awesome job working on your list, and maybe you're that eager beaver that's ahead of schedule. We like those. 4 things we're going to cover today. Number 1, ordering grand opening invitations, how to do it. Number 2, we're going to talk about booking your grand opening and getting it on the schedule. I'm talking about getting it on the national calendar. IBDs all across the country will see it. Some will send people there to help support your event. Number 3, I want to train you on more of the tools and resources that we've made available for you. We're going to start releasing some of those for you. And then number 4, I'm going to talk about compliance, how to make sure we're properly representing the business. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. First of all, action step for week 2 is send out invitations. Why are we sending out invitations, Chris? Man, couldn't I just make a flyer? Couldn't I just phone call people? I mean, why do I have to go through the expense of paying $100, $200? And it's taken me a few hours to track down these addresses. I mean, honestly, why am I going through all of that? Well, I'm going to share it with you right now. Are you serious about a serious business? Are you serious about the results that people are creating here? I'm telling you right now, if you send this in the mail, people are not going to come to your event. But when you call them doing the next step of this program, because they got this, they are way more likely to attend. We've shown that it doubles attendance. So it's a tiny expense that pays out potentially some very huge dividends, okay? Very important. Remember, your invitations do need to get sent out how many weeks in advance? I can't hear you. Oh, you're on the other side of the screen. Are you there? Yeah, 4 weeks. 4 weeks is really important. Let me give you some of the do's and don'ts of this. Number 1, do's. Do send out high quality invitations. If you're not going to use the corporate ones, these are there because it's the least expensive. I can make these really, really high quality ones. If you are going to go with something different, please get creative and do something really high quality. If it's less quality than that, I don't know if it's going to send out the message that you want it to. Do send them out 4 weeks in advance. Here are the don'ts. Do not replace nice invitations with low quality invitations. If you are not a professional art designer, I don't know if I would trust you on that. Don't hand out a flyer in place of invitation. It's cheap. It says your event's not that special. Don't use an evite or email in place of a physical invitation. Listen, I know we live in a world where a lot of people are like, well, I don't have physical addresses. It takes a lot of time to track them down. Trust me, it makes you money. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And lastly, don't reduce your results by not sending out invitations, period. I think we're pretty clear on that one. Now, let's talk about ordering your invitations. We've partnered with a local vendor, Big Fat Logos, and they have the most competitive price that we've been able to see. I recommend that you order 25 to 50 more invitations than you think you need. At this point, you should have a list. You've filled it out. Maybe you filled it out in this document right here, and maybe you're finalizing some last names. I would recommend getting 50 more invitations than you think you need, because keep them on you for that last couple of weeks. Hand them out to people. You're going to give some out in person. You never know where you're going to go. You never know when you're going to meet someone. It's good to have it on hand. It's much nicer than just even than a business card. Finish retrieving your addresses while we get these ordered, and to go ahead and order them, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you real quick right now through the process of how you do that. You can order them through your back office, or even right here on this website, you're going to see an advertisement for ordering your invitations through the shopping area. And when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to log into your back office, and you're going to do that by putting in your username and password when you signed up for the business as an IBD. And when you go in there, you're going to see on the left-hand side of your member portal, it says shopping. Click on shopping. Now scroll to the bottom, and what do you see? Order invitations. You can pick from these 3 different styles, I think, that are currently up there right now, and get those invitations ordered. If you want to do it old school, you can go ahead and call the vendor directly. Here's the number. It's 801-221-2737, like you can see on the screen, or an email, orders@designpubgroup.com. Now, let me talk for a moment about e-invites and social media. After you have sent your invitations in the mail, I do want you to send out evites to Facebook or LinkedIn if you have any of that social space that you're using online. It's good to create awareness that way, let people know it's coming in the mail. Warning, let me read this. No electronic or physical invitation takes place of inviting someone by phone. Got it. Remember, this is not going to bring people to your event. It's an awareness campaign. So when you call, because they got it 4 weeks in advance, what does that say? It says it's important. It says save the date. Okay. Now, action step number 2, private versus community grand openings. You get to choose whether you want to hold a intimate private group or whether you want to do a community event. A lot of people want the private setting because they want to create maybe a little bit of a different type of evening, maybe a different ambiance, maybe create a different type of, maybe a different kind of event. We've seen people get pretty creative on these. Other people love doing a community grand opening. That's my preference because of the synergy. You get so many people in a room and it just creates all this social proof. It also attracts a lot of our local investors buying deals that call that the presenter can pick on and put them on the stage and have people really show them how powerful this is. So you get to choose whether it's private or whether it's community. If it's community grand opening, you just go through your back office exactly where I showed you where to get these guys, your invitations, and you'll see that you can be charged $100, and that's going to be your entrance fee for us to pay a lot of money to secure the room, the venue, and pay for all the equipment. And it ends up being usually at a fraction of the cost for you to do it this way. Lastly, if you have any questions on a community grand opening, you can contact 7figureclub@stromberg.com, or you can call them 801-623-6970, as you can see on the screen. I kind of feel like a newscast reporter right now, but I don't have any experience with that. Okay, lastly, I want you to get yourself on the Stromberg calendar. Now I'm going to do some screen sharing here. Watch what happens when you go to either this training site, the same thing is found on your stromberg.com website. You just click on events. And notice that here's where you can go and click in and log in with your username and password. And when you click on that, in the corner, it gives you a chance to actually decide if you want to create an event. That's where you just fill it out, hit post, and now your event is on the calendar. Super, super simple. You can call that 7figureclub@stromberg.com and we can do it for you if you're not very tech savvy. Okay. Now, I want to shift gears now. We've talked about the main action item for this week, which is get these invitations ordered, get them in the mail. What I want to do now is I want to start reviewing some of your tools, because at this point you got to be thinking, wow, Stromberg says that they've got all these extra tools for me. What are they? I'm going to give you a preview of just some of them right now. First of all, let's go ahead and log in to your back office. And as you're watching the screen here, you can see that if I go to just stromberg.com and go to the bottom right corner, I can click on my member portal where I can log in, put in my username and password, and now I find myself within the realm of the wonderful resources of Stromberg. I've got websites here, shopping carts, my back office to look at my volume. Let's start by clicking on websites. Now here at the top of the page, you can see that we have investor websites, and at the bottom, we have websites for your referral side of the business. We keep them separate because some investors like it to be kept separate. Some people like it to be kept separate. It's not like an MLM where if you do one side of the business, you have to do the other. We keep them separate. Let's just go through your main website, which is your strongbrook.com website. Your username, as you can see, is going to be www.username, that's your username, strongbrook.com. That will take you to your personal customized website. And this is the site that you send investors to. On this, you're going to be able to see a lot of great things on the homepage. There's a 2-minute video to create some enticement for people to click on the Investment Resource Center. Let's do that. There I find a 15-minute video. What's on that video? Well, that video is Stromberg's main presentation, housed in 15 minutes. So if someone wants to know what we're all about, A to Z, they can watch that video and learn all about what we do with our investors. You also on this website and in this Investor Resource Center, going across the bottom, you can download the Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. If you put in the code FREE, F-R-E-E, so anyone else can go to your website and download it for free as well. Otherwise, they'll get a limited, just a few chapters. You can see that we put several sample properties with detailed information. I can click on any of these and get the acquisition information. And in the same area, I also have my rental reports from the previous year. This is great information that sophisticated investors like to see. We have got several client case studies, testimonials. We also have an audio where you can listen for nearly 2 hours to clients just being interviewed about the good, bad, and the ugly experience that they've had with us. It's all good, but we're trying to play two sides here. You can see across the top, company executive summary, our bios, and other basic information that I think is useful for people doing some due diligence. Over here you can click on Strongbrook product descriptions, And this is where you can actually see that we have an explanation of our transactional PSAs, the unlimited PSA, the 4-home, the 1-home. And then below we also talk about the MAP PSA as we scroll down. There's also a link where you can submit your prospect's game plan request always. Top right corner, really key. You do an event or have a conversation and they say, I want a free game plan. That's where you enter it in and you're done. You've dropped the prospect on the doorstep. It's now the company's job. Okay, let's go into a different website. I'm going to let you investigate further there. Here, if we click down and look at our referral websites, you see that here's one, your main one. It's www.username, that's your username, .strongbrookdirect.com. So it's the same URL, we just put direct on the end. And what that does is that explains the referral program. And if you go into this website, you'll see that we feature a couple of main videos, a 3-minute, a 12-minute video. These offer explanations about how the referral programs work and how the company works. And that's a great place to send people that are interested in building a team with you. There's videos that will explain the income opportunity. They can download the compensation plan on the bottom left. We have success stories of IBDs, details on the realtor program. Top right corner, they can enroll as an IBD. Honestly, here you have just a lot of great resources. This is a video you can click on seeing one of the recruiting meetings that was actually shot in my home. We call it the Real Scoop. Gives them a really intimate fireside chat setting for seeing what we're up to and what we're doing. All right. Next, let's go ahead and click on shopping. And here you have a chance to actually pick up brochures and books and other various things. For example, you can order your business cards here. This is a great place to make sure, when you meet people, you want to give them a professional business card. We'll help supply that to you. We've got books that make some of the best brochures. And then we have some other brochures, and I've got just some of them here in hand. This one right here is on Own the Hottest Rental Properties. And they could flip through this and learn about the PSA, the real estate we're doing, see some sample numbers, see some testimonials, how the system works. So these are tools we make available to assist you depending on how you're marketing your business. Finally, I want you to notice here on the website, the library. If you click through the library, a lot of the resources that we talk about, they're also on this training website, strongbrooktrainer.com. You're also going to find them in the toolbox, the same tools as you have here in the library. Notice at the top, this is where we actually archive the newsletters, as well as the national Monday morning team training calls. These calls are important. Kevin Clayson, one of the co-founders of the company, conducts these calls usually. He brings a variety of other guests on. He brings on successful IBDs. This is where we train you on what's new in the business. We update you on what's happening. That's one of the most important calls of the week. Every Monday, I want you to put in the calendar that call coming up and go ahead and ahead of time put in the phone number and access code. The phone number is 712-432-0075. And the access code is 358204. Pause right now, get that entered in so that every Monday you are ready to get updated on everything you need to know about your Strongbrook business. All right, let's go ahead and actually get some comments from some of our IBDs that have been using these tools for a little bit. And then I'd also like to get some comments from Kevin Clayson on the Monday morning national team call.
One of the ways that we go about our business is we've been blessed by a book, The Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth by Chris Crone. And that book is one that I love to give out. It's almost my calling card. I love to just give it out to people because I know that it's blessed my life, and if they'll crack it open, that it will bless their life in ways that they can't even imagine now. And so we are in the process of helping people live their life's purpose and find their vision in life so that we can truly be the ambassadors of abundance in the world in which we live and make it a better place. That is my story.
Chris Crone was referred to me. I'm a writer by trade, by career, that's what I do. And a client of mine referred Chris to me, and I got to write his book, Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. And I was just astounded as I wrote the book because literally every single page he had a fix to a mistake that we had made. He had a solution to every problem that we had ever encountered in real estate investing. And looking back now on our experience, we had 2 properties that we had bought in 2004 that had we run Chris Crone's system on it, on those 2 properties, we would have been retired today, making a great residual income.
Regarding the Monday morning calls, they are without question the highlight of my week. I find them to be inspirational, informative, and just a great way to take off the week. I don't think I've ever experienced calls of the quality as I had with Strongbrook's calls on Monday mornings to launch my week in my entire life. And we all know that at the age of 65, I'm still a young fella. A long way to go.
Hey everybody, Kevin Clayson here, Strongbrook's Chief Officer of Awesome and the Vice President of Prosperity, and I'm here to change your life. When do I get to change your life? I get to change your life every single Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then there's some other ones in there too. I think that means it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure if I'm smart enough to figure that out, but you are. But I am smart enough to tell you that if you will show up every single Monday and you are willing to listen, you will have your business transformed. We will talk about principles of the rich and wealth building. We will give you product knowledge. We will give you mindset training. You will hear from the most successful IBDs all across the country and what they are doing to transform lives and have success in their business. You do not want to miss these calls. If you will give yourself the gift of an hour of uninterrupted time every Monday morning, you will see results in your business multiply exponentially almost immediately. Do not miss these calls. All the information's right here on the training site. Make sure you check it out. There are replays available, but don't wait for the replay. Listen when it is live. It will change your life. So my question for you is, are you ready to change your life so you can go change other lives? If you are, I'll hear from you every single Monday. We'll see you.
All right, we're home stretch. What I'm going to do right now is I want to talk just a little bit about compliance. In order for you in the future to be able to earn commissions, you need to be compliance certified. Now, it doesn't take more than 30 minutes to actually go through this brief training and take a test. Some of you might do it in just 10 minutes. And you can either read the training or you can watch it. What we're going to do here is I'm actually going to play co-founder Stephen Miller going through this compliance training with you right now. The reason why we have compliance training is because we are committed to a very long-term opportunity. I want this company to be here for my children. And I want this company to be here for my grandchildren. And I hope yours as well. Because we're creating a legacy here. A company that has a chance to change the world. And you can be a part of it. Here's what the training is going to do is it's going to talk about the do's and don'ts of being an IBD, and that's why we get you certified. It's to make sure we protect the company. Make sure you don't misrepresent us in any way on accident. It helps you understand how to professionally and ethically share the parameters of the company. Make sure that we're complying with U.S. regulatory agencies. Even though you're not licensed in any way, we want to make sure you're saying the correct things as you're talking about the company. We have a serious obligation to make sure that you're properly educated and that we follow the outlines of these critical compliance issues. Like I said, it's going to be less than 30 minutes to go through this. I'm going to have Stephen Miller go ahead and get started with this. And then when you're done, you can either right here on StrongbrookTrainer.com click on Take My Compliance Test, or you can just go into your back office where you log in. Remember how we did that? And right there it has compliance training, and you can take your test right there and be certified, and it's already done. With that, Stephen Miller.
Welcome, and thank you for your participation in Strongbrook. Strongbrook's real product is financial empowerment, and that makes the Strongbrook opportunity truly unique. We have the ability to help transform lives through our IBD and investor opportunities, and we take this responsibility seriously. Strongbrook's commitment is to operate with integrity and ethics, and we expect that our IBDs will do the same. Our objective is to build a long-term opportunity that will stand the test of time for our IBDs and investors. In an effort to protect and preserve this remarkable opportunity for all who wish to participate, it is important that all IBDs understand the pertinent regulations that affect how the opportunity should be presented to others. There are FTC and SEC rules that impact how we operate. Strongbrook and its IBDs have a moral and legal responsibility to operate in compliance with these regulations. So let's review these important compliance issues and discuss how they impact our business. The primary compliance concerns fall into 4 categories. Number 1, operate your business with integrity. Number 2, don't make income claims and don't guarantee success or rates of return. Number 3, Strongbrook IBDs are not licensed financial, legal, or tax professionals and must not act as such. And number 4, Strongbrook and its IBDs are not licensed to sell securities and must avoid acting in a manner that could be classified as such. We will go through each of these 4 compliance categories in detail and discuss the do's and don'ts of how to present the Strongbrook opportunity. Compliance issue number 1 is to operate your Strongbrook business with integrity. Be honest, courteous, and professional. The golden rule is always good policy. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Strongbrook is a lucrative business opportunity that allows for tremendous success without exaggeration, deception, or harsh sales tactics. When you enroll with Strongbrook as an IBD, you agreed to abide by a set of rules known as the IBD policies and procedures. You need to be aware of these policies and procedures so you can be sure to operate within them. If you haven't already read the policies and procedures, please be sure to fully review them in the important documents section on the front page of your IBD back office. Compliance issue number 2 is to avoid making income claims. Do not guarantee success and don't guarantee investment rates of return. Let's evaluate each issue more closely. IBDs are not allowed to make income claims related to the Strongbrook IBD or investor opportunity. Strongbrook makes available income calculator tools that demonstrate the immense potential of the Strongbrook business and investor opportunities without making impermissible income claims. These calculator tools are available on your replicated websites. The Game Plan Calculator demonstrates the income potential of real estate investor opportunity and even provides a 10-year game plan on how to turn that potential into reality. The Commission Calculator demonstrates the income potential of the IBD business opportunity. These calculator tools will leave a powerful impact on your prospects when they're used properly. To use the calculators properly, the IBD should allow the prospect to provide the requested input data. This makes the results more impactful for the prospect and prevents the IBD from making inadvertent income claims by impacting the calculator's final results. Strongbrook is a tremendous opportunity with a 5-year track record of success. Strongbrook has created a business model that serves to eliminate as much risk as possible for our investors. But there are always risks. Future market conditions can be difficult to predict, and real estate markets can be volatile. All investors should recognize that risk is inherent in any investment, and success cannot be guaranteed. Just as investment success cannot be guaranteed, specific rates of return also cannot be guaranteed. Each real estate investment is unique, and rates of return can vary. It is okay to discuss and review past Strongbrook real estate investment examples that are available online, but do not promise specific rates of returns or cash flow. Compliance issue number 3 centers on understanding that Strongbrook IBDs are not licensed financial, legal, or tax professionals. The financial, legal, and tax industries are regulated professions. It is illegal for an IBD to provide financial, legal, or tax advice or recommendations without the appropriate license. If a prospect asks for financial, legal, or tax recommendations, the IBD should clearly state that he or she is not a licensed professional and limit the discussion to informing the prospect about Strongbrook real estate investment options. IBDs may educate and inform, but may not advise or recommend. IBDs should educate prospects on Strongbrook real estate investment options, including unique ways to tap into investment capital using the prospect's existing 401k, IRA, and or life insurance policies. However, the IBD must not go so far as to attempt an evaluation of the prospect's current investment portfolio, or to advise, recommend, counsel, or guide the prospect towards specific investment decisions. Since IBDs are not licensed financial advisors, they may not give investment advice or recommendations to an investor. Some Strongbrook Group companies, such as Strongbrook Realty, Strongbrook Lending, Strongbrook Property Management, Strongbrook Financial, and other affiliated professional service providers, are staffed with licensed professionals who may provide answers and advice related to their area of licensure. Compliance issue number 4 is where Strongbrook and its IBDs are not licensed to sell securities and must avoid acting in a manner that could be classified as such. IBDs must not represent themselves as a financial advisor, planner, or consultant, which are licensed professionals. They shouldn't attempt to offer financial advice, counsel, or give recommendations. There are instances where an IBD may cross the line into offering financial advice without even realizing it. Let's discuss specific examples to help illustrate what providing financial advice actually means. IBDs must not offer advice concerning 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, annuities, precious metals, or any other type of security. IBDs must not assess an individual's portfolio, make comparisons to other investments, compare risk or rates of return between investments, or offer alternative investment recommendations. IBDs must avoid making any type of financial recommendations. IBDs may share their opinion. IBDs may cite specific past experiences, and IBDs may even discuss what he or she would do if the choice was his or hers. But the IBD may not suggest, advise, counsel, or recommend as to what the prospect should do. The decision as to what the prospect should do and how to proceed must be left completely to the prospect. IBDs may only educate prospects on their available options to access funds for real estate investments. For example, many people are unaware that options exist for accessing 401k, IRA, and life insurance funds in order to obtain the needed capital for real estate investments. Although an IBD may inform a prospect about these options, the IBD must not recommend or advise that the prospect actually pursue such options. Strongbrook does not sell and is not licensed to sell securities. One of the primary distinguishing factors that can classify a real estate investment as a security is whether the investment is passive. For purposes of defining a security, a passive investment is one in which the investor puts money into the investment, is completely uninvolved in the ongoing operations or management of the investment, and receives investment dividends or distributions for ownership in the investment. Although Strongbrook strives to minimize investment time, effort, and risk for its investors, the investments still require the active involvement of the investor. The investor will solely own any properties acquired through Strongbrook and is solely responsible for the properties, ongoing maintenance, although most investors choose to utilize the services of a property management company. Due to this important nuance in defining the security, IBDs should refrain from referring to the Strongbrook investor opportunity as a passive investment. Now, here are some examples of some do's and some don'ts. Let's discuss a few examples of compliant versus non-compliant language that should help to further clarify these important compliance concerns. Examples of non-compliant phrases that should be avoided include, I think you should, or I recommend that you, or I would counsel you to, or my best advice is, or your best options are. Examples of acceptable phrases that could be used are, you might want to consider, or have you ever considered? You'll want to ask your tax advisor, or a potential option is, or some potential options include. Do you see the difference between the acceptable phrases as compared to the phrases to avoid? The bad examples use words and phrases that attempt to advise, recommend, or guide the prospect to a certain decision. Such action is not appropriate since IBDs are not licensed financial professionals. In contrast, the acceptable phrases use words that merely inform the prospect and make him or her aware of the options available. The wording in the positive examples make it clear to the prospect that the ultimate decision on how to proceed is completely left to the prospect. When discussing sensitive topics, get used to saying something like, please keep in mind that I am not a licensed professional. Or, if a prospect asks, can you provide investment advice? An appropriate response would be, no. I am not a licensed financial advisor. I share different investment options to help people make their own informed decisions. If a prospect asks, should I cash out my 401k or obtain a second mortgage loan so I can acquire investment real estate? A yes answer to this question would be considered investment advice and is not permissible. An appropriate answer would be something like, those strategies are viable options that some investors use. However, each investor is different, so I don't know if such actions will be right for you. You'll want to discuss these options with your Strongbrook Client Services Coordinator before making these important final decisions. Before we conclude, let's recap the primary areas of compliance concern one last time. Number 1, operate your Strongbrook business with integrity. Number 2, don't make income claims or offer guarantees of success. Number 3, don't represent yourself as a financial, tax, or legal professional. And number 4, Strongbrook and its IBDs are not licensed to sell securities, and therefore must not offer financial advice or recommendations. Thank you for completing this training video. Following these few important rules will help ensure that Strongbrook and its IBDs operate in compliance with regulatory policy. We urge all IBDs to make a personal commitment to abide by these rules and thereby help preserve and protect the lucrative Strongbrook opportunity for all who seek financial empowerment. If you understand the principles taught in this training video, then you are ready to take the online compliance training test. The test should only take approximately 15 minutes to complete. Once you have successfully passed the test, you may begin to fully participate in the Strongbrook Compensation Plan. We wish you much success in building your Strongbrook business. Thank you.
All right, well, listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to log into your member portal, click on Get Certified, read the information, watch the video. You've kind of already done that, but it's time to complete that little certification test. That's really going to wrap us up for week 3. Just a little things to know about where we're going next week on week 3 training. From week 2 here is I want you to finish gathering your addresses while these are coming. Because remember, we got to get these out 4 weeks prior to your event. We're going to talk about how we're going to train you on doing your calls next week. And remember, if you ever have a question, if I've confused you in any way, I want you to email 7figureclub@strongbrook.com or dial 801-623-6970. We'll give you assistance on your grand opening. Otherwise, just call call our support office and we'll make sure we take care of you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great week.